Greetings, family. I just want to chat with you for a few minutes in one of my times of taking a break. As you well know, over the last 22 years, I put a lot of work in on all of my creations and expressions online. I think I say that frequent enough. But in addition to those creations, I spent just 3 months short of 60 years being a black man in this world. And 57 and a half of those years were spent in that place called America. And no matter what anyone would try to tell you about that place, I am very firm on what I have experienced there. And the days that we're living in, this doesn't surprise me. This doesn't surprise me one bit on how things are transpiring in the country. I feel like the young Superman, when his father sent him off on a ship away and off of the planet Krypton, because the planet Krypton was about to blow up. And as young Superman was in that ship, a small capsule of a ship, as he went into the stratosphere and into outer space, the planet blew up. And the way they made it seem as though fragments of the planet, get a little closer here, fragments of the planet were hitting the back of the little ship as he got away. He just barely got away. And while I said many things that I felt were going to happen in America, I got away. Many things didn't happen. Some things did. We know the reason why they were telling us worldwide to take this jab. Jabs are only for boxers, if you ask me. But I knew that that was a trial run for something bigger down through the years. And I felt good that I got away, but I felt bad for those who were left behind. And I don't want anything to happen at all. But sometimes when you try so long to convince those who prefer to stick their head in the sand, at some point, you have to look out for yourself. And I don't jump on every single conspiracy theory headline as though it's gospel. But these things are worth looking into because there might be a modicum of truth to it. I was once very close friends with a young lady from China, a black woman who was American born. And she told me, she said, "Lance, the American media does not let you know everything that has gone on. You've had a lot of close calls that you didn't know about. But those of us here in China, we understood what was going on in and around and over your country." You see, the news platforms are not very truthful because they work together with social media, they work together with government, they work together with the shadow governments and powers that be. You think Joe Biden is really in control over everything in America? He's just a facsimile. He's just a position. Those who make true decisions in the world, you should understand by now, you don't know who they are. Those who are the wealthiest on the planet never make the Forbes top 100 because they don't want to be seen. So what you see and what you know pretty much is an illusion. And you latch on to this as though it's gospel because of fear of this unknown thing. You don't want to really go beyond and see what's behind the curtain. We know there's something more to this existence, but we don't want to be in the shock of losing all that we know, all that we're familiar with, all that we've become comfortable with. So we go in for the illusion. We go in for scrolling hours on end in social media, watching the lives of others, believing the lies of others, as our consciousness gets sucked down into nothingness. We can't think for ourselves. This thing called YouTube Shorts, those short 60-second videos that go up, statistics show that those videos are more preferred than any long-form content that you have on YouTube. Unless you happen to be a little different than most people and can digest the long-form content. You see, when social media first came out, or actually our access to the internet, which has been around from the 60s on a military level, but in the 90s I remember seeing friends that had computers and we had dial-up. We didn't have video. We didn't have it strong enough to be able to download and play video. So even when it was just words to read, you remember how long it took for that page to scroll down. Then it got more powerful and we could see pictures. And then at some point, I would say in the early 2000s, we can get video. And even then it was a little slower. It buffered for a while before we saw it. Now we have internet at high speeds. Now we have, okay, every time I do a video, there's somebody who calls me and I don't know who it is. So we're just going to turn this down and continue this video. Okay, we're going to do it that way. So, as I always say, we had the marriage of social media and the computer. Social media and the smartphone. And that made it where we didn't have to rush to get home to check our emails like we used to do. We now had a phone that can do this out in the world. We can take pictures instantaneously. I could only imagine what that has done to the photo industry, right? I could imagine what these free phone calls have done to the calling card industry. We don't understand how the merging of these two things, social media and the cell phone, has changed the world. Now, we give so much information away on ourselves and we are GPSed through our phone. Yet we figure that most things that people like me say, it's conspiracy theories. Maybe, maybe not. But now you see how the world can be shut down and even the things you say on social media can be censored. Because at first they gave this to you as a gift, but it was one big social experiment. And now they pull back the reins of power that they have. And now there are certain things that you can't say or you'll be banned. There's certain things that you cannot say if you know them, or they will watch you, they will follow you, they will tag you like pigeons because they can do that. And now we have this social credit system looming over us. Biden signed into it last year, but most of us don't know that. Just like with the whole North American Union, where Canada, United States, and Mexico are merged together as one. But that was in the making right after 9/11. But it's there, and pretty much it will happen. Don't believe the hype. Now there are rumors from a high-ranking Air Force person. I don't know what his rank is because I'm not into the military. But he says for 2024, 2025, 9 times out of 10, pretty much we're going to go to war with China. We're giving away all of this aid to Ukraine. We're in everybody else's business other than our own. And I say our, even though I live in Ghana, my heart is still in America for the people who look like me and my family, okay? But we're looking after everybody else's business. We're in everybody else's business. But what about those homeless veterans who have to live under overpasses, right? They're homeless. They fought for the country, even though I'm not with the military and never have been for the military, because my father always taught me that it was always because of the corporate entities, right? fighting was not going to benefit the people, because you, as a blue-collar man or woman in the military, you're on the front lines, and guess what? Those people who are considered the elite, their children stay and watch you. And they'll give you a salute while you come back in a body bag. They'll give you a salute while you come back with a system that's messed up in some type of disease or some type of thing that's wrong with you that you have to fight for. When you go to the VA, as though you're begging something when you put your life on the line. I didn't have to deal with that. I would never call anybody who did that a fool, but I would never do that because I was taught from young, and I'm quite sure most who were in the military, who understood after a while what they got themselves into, pretty much regretted it. And if not, we have nothing to debate. You did it, I didn't, you're happy, I'm happy. But there's so much deception in America, and out here in Ghana, I hear so many people speak about how they can't wait to go to America. It's a land of milk and honey, right? And they don't know. And as much as I might try to add on a little bit to their consciousness on that particular subject, they resist me even more. So now I just encourage them to go. Go, please, go, enjoy. And they ask me, why did you leave? I say, you really don't want to know. Because it's diametrically opposed to what you believe in, so you need to see it for yourself, right? You can make more money if you can get a good job, but you're going to spend a whole lot more money. So let's not get into that. But these deceptions that are floating over our head, all I say is that I hope you prepare to be as self-sufficient as you can. I hope that you learn to live without electricity, the internet, without heat externally. I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but independence is a wonderful thing. To be totally self-sufficient is something that my father taught me from years ago. I didn't have a chance in America to really execute that with all of the amenities that we had, but that was a seed that was firmly planted in my mind. And all I can say is that it's only for your good, because we are controlled by these amenities that they give us. We are spoiled by them. We need to get away from that. Stay away from people who have no goals. Stay away from people who have no drive for anything except watching your business and speaking gossip. That can be the death of you. I've had to clean that up and drastically insult many people around me, and I will continue to do so because this is my life and I can live the way I want. Always deal and vibe with high vibrational people on a spiritual level, not just those who watch a few YouTube videos and memorize the words and spit it back to you to have a pass into your life because you think there's so much of a high-minded, high spiritual person. No, there's a lot of frauds out here. And it's not just certain things you have to look out for, but those things on the interpersonal level of these entities with their negative energy who don't like who you are. Look at the police killing us slowly but surely, and not even slowly anymore. The 5 police officers that killed, what is his name? Tyree Nichols, I believe it is. Yeah. It doesn't matter what color they are, they're part of the same force. And they're just as deadly if they're black as if they were white, because they're a separate entity, even from the police force. I personally know several police officers that are retired now that I would give my life for. I love them to death. And I know them from young ages. And these things would never happen around them because the powers that be in that underworld of law enforcement would not operate like that around them. You see, there are some good ones, right? And I can say that. And I'll say that. But the majority who know, who are silent about things, who turn their head because they want their paycheck and their pension, they're just as guilty. So you have to really, in America, tread carefully, just the same way as you have to tread carefully anywhere in the world, and especially me here in Accra, Ghana. I will tell you so much. There are many secret handshakes out here. There are many agents out here. There are many people who don't like you when you have the true light of creativity, the true light of righteousness. In their world, wrong is right and right is wrong. Good is bad and bad is wrong. They can shapeshift around other people and and appear to be good, righteous people, but they only want death on you. I have experienced it personally, and this is why I walk the way I do. See me, I like to be myself. I can be the life of the party. I can be the life of the crowd. But I take just as much joy in being to myself, just like when I was a young boy on 134th Street, 10535 134th Street, where I grew up. My house there with my parents. I had my own room. I had peace and quiet. Yet I would still go out and play with my friends and be the life of the party. But on the other hand, I could not be isolated, because to isolate me is to push me further into the inner universe that I am. I am so full of creativity, and living almost 60 years in America, 57 and a half years, has given me a lifetime or several lifetimes of experience from which to draw from which to write from which to share from. So if I don't have any more experiences in this life ever again, I have enough to share with you. And the more I meditate is the more I can see the different angles and different perspectives that I can bring my creativity. So I could never be shut down. 24 hours a day I can talk. 24 hours a day I can write. I'm a hater's nightmare. The haters don't even have enough hate to hate on me because they can't keep up with me. I'm self-generated and independent. I don't clan up with people who I don't know. I don't join up with people that I don't know. I walk along with people who I trust. But if that trust is breached, you'll never have to worry about seeing me again. But this is what I say. Self-sufficiency, being self-sufficient and being to yourself and being able to thrive by yourself. You don't need anyone to survive. The Creator gave you everything. Don't believe that hype. You don't need hating people around you. You don't need people who will secretly stab you behind your back or think negative thoughts. All you need is your Creator and your brains to be clear, your mind to be clear, so that you can survive and manifest the seeds of greatness that are inside you. Just a word that I wanted to share with everybody. I love you all. Stick up on the shows, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. The channel LANCESCURV Live, but the channel is LANCESCURV, LANCESCURV.com, LANCESCURV. For the app, on the Google Play Store, the App Store, and Amazon. I'm quite sure you'll be very pleased with the app if you go there, and you'll see a lot of work. And I also want to say, just those few little tabs there don't represent the total work of what we've done. Those are the individuals who have been there, but we have hundreds of interviews, hundreds of live video, hundreds of different things that we've done, and we're going to continue to do it. I don't care who doesn't like it. I'm going to keep on going. There's a lot of people who don't like the work that I do because they want to be up and talk and get on the podium and speak the truth. We all can speak a truth. But one thing I'll say, if you don't live the truth, there's no way you can exemplify it and radiate it out to the world, because when you're a fraud, it's just a matter of time before you discover it. And I think there are a few people that I know that have discovered that. Anyway, LANCESCURV out. Much love to you all. Salute to my brothers, and much love to my sisters. Let's take a break and give thanks to the Creator that woke us up this morning, whatever you want to call him. We are part of a bigger system, and if you're not for what's right, if you're not for what's positive, you will be removed and terminated and not recycled back into the system. Because how can you be a fraud and talk righteous, but you're doing nothing but dirty deeds? I don't want to be on that list. I'd rather be by myself and do good all by myself. And I think I'm doing kind of all right. Anyway, LANCESCURV out. Much love to you all. Peace. On to the next one.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LANCESCURV.com and follow SCURV on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LANCESCURV.